I'm going to give you a report on drones about 1 day into the administration.
They did cut money from the fire department in Los Angeles.
They cut about $17 million. But
hey everybody, I'm very excited about this video because this is a video where you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. These are going to be all of the newest Meltdown clips on all sides, mostly CNN and Fox News from 2025. Now, before I start, please like the video. It helps out a lot. You don't even have to subscribe, but liking the video ensures that everybody else can have a good time. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this first clip of Donald Trump.
I was given an unconditional discharge. That result alone proves that, as all legal scholars and experts have said, there is no case, there was never a case, and this whole scam fully deserves to be dismissed. The real jury, the American people, have spoken by re-electing me with an overwhelming mandate in one of the most consequential elections in history, as the American people have seen this, quote, case, close quote, had no crime, no damages, no proof, no facts, no law, only a highly conflicted judge, a star witness who was disbarred, disgraced, serial perjurer, and criminal election interference.
So yeah, Donald Trump is obviously very upset, and so are a lot of Americans. I'm sure we will see more on this news story, but this next clip was intense. Scott Jennings out of CNN versus a congresswoman, and a lot of Americans agree with Scott Jennings. What is going on with the LA Fire Department? Why are we so focused on appearance and not the skill level? Enjoy this clip because it gets pretty crazy.
Recall a news story from last year. There was some interest in the fire departments and the firefighters in California, and the interest was that there were too many white men who were firefighters, and we need to have a program in California to make sure we don't have enough white men as firefighters. So we have budget cuts.
You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is black women. So let me be clear. Because you are a woman, or because I know that some of the right has been sharing these photos of the fact that I believe that the fire chief may be a woman or something, that has nothing to do with it. We are looking at qualifications. What diversity, equity, and inclusion has always been about. In my check, y'all didn't say that anything was wrong with the White House, and I can promise you it was my ancestors that built the White House. So listen, if we have been good enough to build this country, we are good enough to serve and die overseas, we are good enough to serve in other ways. And
I would love to play that entire clip. However, it's literally just 4 minutes of just going on, and all Scott Jennings says, look, all I'm saying is this is a matter of policy in LA. Now, this next clip is pretty huge, as Donald Trump would say. It's Donald Trump talking about how he is going to talk about the drones day one as the president and give out the public information as to what's going on in New Jersey.
A story that kind of disappeared very suddenly. Do you have any idea whatever happened to the drones?
I'm going to give you a report on drones about 1 day into the administration, because I think it's ridiculous that they're not telling you about what's going on with the drones. And it's not only with me. Glenn was telling me today that in Virginia they have drones all over the place too, and nobody's reporting it. I don't know why they're not.
Now, whenever I gather these clips, it's always so funny to see whenever Donald Trump says something that everybody agrees with, it is crickets over on the Democratic side. You never hear any praise or anything good. In fact, Ron DeSantis talks about this and goes in on a news reporter because of this fact.
To be criticizing. Is it appropriate for people in your industry to try to create division and to try to create narratives anytime these things happen? Now, you're not as interested in doing that because Newsom is a D. If Newsom was a Republican, you guys would you would have him nailed to the wall for what they're doing over there. And I know we've dealt with it. We just assume in Florida, anytime something happens, it's going to be politicized by the media. So you guys sitting in judgment of Donald Trump, I mean, excuse me, I think your track record of politicizing these things is very, very bad.
Okay, last question.
And Ron DeSantis is 100% correct. I even have a clip from CNN of Anderson Cooper in the middle of this tragic fire in LA asking about Donald Trump to Gavin Newsom. I mean, check out this disgusting clip.
We're in the public safety phase.
I hate to even ask this question, but the president-elect chose to attack you, blame you for this.
One can't even respond to it. I mean, people are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives. Kids lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I know what I want to say. I won't.
And I actually cannot stand Governor Gavin Newsom. I think he's a terrible leader for California. However, I don't like the fact that Anderson Cooper is messing with his headspace when there is a fire ablaze right behind him. Now, these next series of clips are rather interesting and a little goofy. Donald Trump talking about wanting Greenland, and then a senator that a lot of people have been eyeballing will be saying that he wants to be the new Pope of Greenland. Check this out.
The price tag.
Well, maybe no price tag. Look, we're going to have to see what happens because Denmark, we need this for national security. We need Greenland very badly. You look at the Russian ships, the China ships, they're all over the place. They're, surrounding. Now, they have for a long time. That's a lane. But we need that for national security. So I don't know that Denmark has any right, title, and interest, and we're going to find that. But I can tell you, you saw the clips that were released. The people of Greenland would love to become a state of the United States of America.
Now, this next clip is a senator out of Pennsylvania, a Democrat who will be meeting with Donald Trump here very soon, pokes a little fun at the media and says he wants to be the next Pope of Greenland, knowing that the media is going to run with it because he always says you guys are always trying to clickbait Democrats and Republicans and create division, especially in a time when everybody has to work together.
To get out of your visit to Mar-a-Lago to talk to Donald Trump?
What are we talking about here? Is there some news?
There's some news. We hear that you're going to be heading down to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yes, I've heard that. Yeah.
What will you be discussing with the president?
Well, yeah, I demand that I need to be made Pope of Greenland.
Do you have the resume to be Pope?
I'm having a conversation like he's the president is going to be. So, I am not the senator for just Democrats in Pennsylvania. I'm everyone's senator in Pennsylvania.
That was Senator Fetterman. A lot of people have mixed opinions on him on the conservative side, but it is what it is. He will be meeting with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago to discuss him being the next Pope. Anyway, this next clip speaks on what's going on in LA. This is out of Fox News.
I mean, who could have guessed that the people who were so anti-civilization would be so bad at maintaining civilization? I mean, this was completely preventable. We knew that there were Santa Ana winds. We knew that there was huge fire risk. Many reports have been done on this. We just saw there that helicopters actually do a pretty good job when they're mobilized. Why weren't they mobilized for the Pacific Palisades fire? Why wasn't the National Guard mobilized earlier? Why did we not have enough water for the fire pressurized levels in the fire hydrants? There's many excuses that get made. People explain these things. They say, well, the reservoirs were full. There weren't enough reservoirs. We haven't had significant water projects built since 1979.
Now, what's interesting is I know a lot of us can be in our own bubbles of conservatives or Democrats, but on this specific topic with why didn't the leadership actually do their job, believe it or not, a lot of left-leaning figures are actually saying the exact same thing. What the heck is going on? Probably because it's almost indefensible on what is going on right now. I will grant you, and a lot of people there are natural disasters and it's tough to figure out. But when it comes to California, there are fires every single year, and it's the same story every single year. It's like people are caught off guard, and I think a lot of us want some answers.
The people in charge, she took over, and she put on her bio that her priority, my highest priority, is inclusion, diversity, and equity. That is my priority. And somebody forgot to fill all the reservoirs, I guess, with water, because when I was getting smoke alarms, there was a fire truck parked in front of my house. But they couldn't pump any water because there was none, because they didn't put them in the reservoirs.
Now, a very common theme in 2025 seems to be a lot of celebrities right now, because of these LA fires, are not afraid to speak their minds and say what the heck is going on with our Democratic leadership. Now, this next clip is pretty interesting. This is Anderson Cooper saying how people who are trying to protect their own homes, that is another reason why firefighters don't have any water and can't fight this fire, I guess.
But there's just the lack of water is a problem. In the Palisades, the water issue is according to authorities, is a gravity issue. In order to get the water through the hydrants up in the hills and the mountains, they have these giant water tanks that use gravity, and those water tanks ran dry. Part of the problem is a lot of people are using hoses, trying to understandably hose down their lawns, hoping that will stop the fire. A lot of firefighters will say that's not going to stop a fire like this from burning down your house. You may keep your lawn, but it's not going to keep your house. But there's this huge water usage all of a sudden, and those tanks on the top there may be water in the system down below, but if the tanks on the top run dry, there's not enough pressure for gravity to bring the water up into the hydrants. That's in the Palisades. I don't know the water system here in Altadena.
Look, we all know a garden hose is not going to stop the fire, but the fact that Anderson Cooper is even notioning of why would you even try? I mean, that's what the fire department's saying. Don't even try. You're just wasting water. I think it's a bit ridiculous to even question a human on him trying to protect his family and his household. That is the job of the man of a house or whoever is in charge of the household. Anyway, this next clip is rather ridiculous as well.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Can you back up, appreciate it. Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position?
So if you are still watching this video, I really appreciate it. I do want to be sensitive to the people of LA, but I want to make sure I am providing you with the facts of what's going on all sides. Whether Fox News, CNN, a lot of ridiculousness is happening, especially on the left right now. And I know I do have a bias on this channel, but I do want to make sure I'm looking at everybody. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys later.